In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about becoming your own boss. I'm going to be sharing some of the advantages and, yes, some of the pitfalls of becoming your own boss and how to avoid them. Hey, I'm Alex. I help people just like you escape financial slavery and create more financial freedom so you can live your best life and leave a legacy for your family. If that's something that interests you, please consider liking and subscribing. It's never been easier to start your own business, to become your own boss. With the advent of the internet, more and more people in America are deciding to get rid of corporate America, quit their jobs, and deciding to go out on their own. Today, there are 31 million entrepreneurs in America. 46% of all entrepreneurs are between the ages of 41 and 56. So if you haven't started yet, guess what? It's not too late. Women, minorities, and people over the age of 56 actually are leading the charge and becoming entrepreneurs in greater numbers. First of all, there is definitely a difference between quote unquote being your own boss and being an entrepreneur. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, looks at it this way. He says there are four quadrants. There are employees, there are people who are self-employed, there are people who are business owners, and there are investors. And so people who become their own boss are really considered self employed people. They have created their own job, they actually are their own boss, and they have essentially bought themselves a job. Now let's look at entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are people who actually start or buy a business or businesses that provide services to other people. So they actually have a team or other people who help them operate the business and deliver their services and products. I was a financial analyst with Kodak Company, and I got paid a great salary. I had great benefits, 3 weeks vacation, and of course, a wonderful salary. So things were going really well for me until they weren't. At some point in my career, Kodak started having some issues and challenges. And of course, one of the first things companies do is they lay off people. That's the fastest way to save some money and have a turnaround. I was one of the people who was given the opportunity to either take another job within the company or choose to leave the company. And in the process, I got a chance to see how other people who had been with the company much longer, other people who had more experience and had families, I saw how this was affecting them and potentially could affect their family. I really decided for myself that I wanted to have more control and I did not want to put myself in that position should things happen. If I stayed with the company and this happened again, if I had a mortgage and if I had kids at that point, then I looked at it and said, this is not a situation that I really wanted to find myself in. So I decided that I wanted to really strike out on my own and do something on my own. So I left corporate America and I went back to cosmetology school actually, and I owned and operated several salons for over 23 years. And I was all of these things that you see. I was an employee, I was self employed, I was a business owner, and I was an investor. I had all of these things in my 23-year career at different points. What I'm going to share with you is really from experience. So hopefully this will help you in figuring out if this pathway of being self-employed or being an entrepreneur is something that's for you. Since COVID, this has actually been what they call the period of great resignation, where people have really been resigning and leaving their jobs. And there are many reasons why people decide to leave, either because they're much too creative for the environment they're in. Some people have decided they did not want to be locked into a 9 to 5. So I don't know if you've heard, some people would rather work 80 hours a week for themselves instead of working 40 hours a week for someone else. And some people want more control, more choice. That was one of the reasons why, or the main reason why, I decided to leave. And of course, the upside. There's always the idea that you can generate and create more income for yourself by operating your own business. The average entrepreneur generates between $62 and $78,000 a year, according to Capital Wealth Organization. As much as there might be a lot of upside to creating your own, becoming self employed or becoming an entrepreneur, there are also some definite downsides and pitfalls. And I want to share some of those with you. Number one, these days, obviously, the internet creates more opportunity. You're able to connect with people all around the world. You're able to provide your goods, your products, and your services to people in many different continents and countries. But of course, that means now you have many more competitors. You are no longer just competing with people who are operating just in your local market, or people who are even just operating in your industry. You are now competing globally, and competition can sometimes make it difficult for you to actually reach your customers and clients and be able to generate more income. Now, the second pitfall is, if you get stuck in the self-employed phase where you are your own boss, that means that you are now doing all the jobs. You are wearing all of the hats. If everything stops and starts with you, if you don't go to work that day, if you get sick, unable to work for any reason, and you are the person that the business is depending on in order to generate income, then the business doesn't make money. So there is obviously a problem or a pitfall if you are the person who is doing everything in your business. So you have to be aware, and you have to be keenly aware. Are you someone who is self-employed, or are you someone who is an entrepreneur or business owner? If you are a business owner, you want to set up your business so that it operates whether you show up for work or not. One of the pitfalls is many of us get stuck in the self employed phase where everything is our responsibility. Everything, we're wearing all of the hats, and nothing moves if we don't do it. So you want to make sure that you don't get stuck in that phase. Number three, one of the other pitfalls is time management. There are only so many hours in a day. There's only 24 hours in the day. And many times when you are self employed, you are responsible for doing everything, which now means your job doesn't start and end at 9 to 5. Your job stops and starts when the work is done. So oftentimes that leaves less time for you to spend with family, right? It might mean that you don't have much of a social life because you are now trying to get the business up and operating to a point where it can operate without you. And sometimes you don't necessarily get to have as much time for yourself, to be quite honest. I can remember when I first started working in the beauty industry, I was actually only working 4 days a week, right? That was in my self employed stage. So I was a hairstylist, I was working in someone else's salon environment, and I worked for 4 days a week because I can make my own schedule. Once I decided to become a business owner and open my own business, all of a sudden now I was back to working 5 days a week. Okay. And I had a staff of people who were working with me. So for 5 days a week now, I was working from 6 in the morning until 8:30 at night for 5 days a week. So time suddenly became something I no longer had at this point. And then sometimes there were times on the weekend where I would have to come in and do things in the salon on my off days, on your Sundays and Mondays. So time is one of the areas that suddenly become that you sacrifice in order to become successful as a self-employed person or as your own boss. Then, of course, if you aren't spending much time or getting much time for yourself, it takes a physical toll on your body. Maybe you're not sleeping as well. Maybe from all of the things that you have to do in your business, you suddenly you have to work long hours. You're burning the candles at both ends. You're getting up late. You're getting up early. You're staying up late, and you're working hard throughout the day. So sometimes this takes a really, really heavy physical toll. Not to mention number five, the psychological and emotional toll that it takes, where you're constantly dealing with challenges, issues, or problems. You are having to work with your customers and clients. You're having to compete against your competitors. You're constantly trying to figure out how to improve the business and make it better. Then you have people within your team, so you're constantly trying to work with people within the team, right? You're always looking for ways to try to make the business better. All of those things, even if you are someone who is an entrepreneur or a business owner and you have other people who are helping you operate and run this business, oftentimes because you're the boss, that means that you still have ultimate responsibility on how things go. There's a lot of psychological and emotional stress that happens from being self-employed or being the boss. And then, of course, number six, finally, financial. If you are the self-employed person, if you are the business owner, chances are you are the person who is taking what? The financial risk, right? You're the person who is either putting up your own money. Maybe you've even borrowed money. I borrowed money to start my first and my third salon business. I know the stress and strain financially that it can take sometimes when you have to make sure that when you're putting up your own money, you want to make sure that you get a return on your dollar. If you have people who've invested in your business or you've borrowed money, you of course want to make sure that you are paying back your loans on a timely basis. So all of those things can be again very, 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 very stressful. Sometimes even when you have people who employees and people who are working with you, oftentimes you're the last one to get paid, right? The leader is the last one to eat. That's a very good book. So if you're looking for a good book for leadership, that might be one that you want to take a look at. But again, sometimes because you want to make sure that your people are paid and that they're taken care of, because of course, you can't run the business without them. If you're not paying them, then guess what? They're up and gone, and you no longer have a business, right? So you want to make sure that they're taken care of. And oftentimes we are the ones to get paid last, oftentimes. So you have to be prepared for those things. So let me share with you some of the strategies you can use to avoid the pitfalls that so many people find themselves in as self-employed or as people who are being their own boss. So, number one, the first thing is you want to make sure that you are as prepared as you possibly can be before you start your venture. Going back to when I worked with Kodak, I actually interned with them twice before I started working for them as a permanent employee after college. And one of the things that it actually allowed me to do was it allowed me to see what the job entailed. It gave me an opportunity to see exactly, is this something that I would really like? It gave me an opportunity to see if this company was somebody that I wanted to work for. Gave me a chance to see the fit and the culture of the company. So it gives you a better insight as to what you're getting into before you actually decide to pull the trigger. So you might even decide to intern or work with a competitor or someone who's already working in the industry you plan on entering as your own boss. It's a great way to learn from somebody else's business, learn from somebody else's successes, learn from their mistakes, and for you to be able to figure out how you can make sure that you do everything possible that your business can be super successful. Number 2, you want to make sure that you are well capitalized. What do I mean? I see so many people who start businesses today. They quit their job. They haven't saved as much money as they possibly can. They haven't taken the time to kind of get their affairs, their personal affairs in order. Um, and when you do that and you start your business without having enough capital, it puts you in a position where you are just getting started, but you really don't have the money to really run the business, to really make it grow, for you to be able to take it from the infancy stage and be able to go to the next level with it. Capital is the heartbeat, it is the blood of any business. And if you don't have enough of it, just like your body, if you don't have enough capital that's flowing through your business, it makes it very difficult and hard for your business to operate and to grow. Number 3, make sure you document everything. Sometimes, as business owners, this is a passion play for us. This is something that we may be very, very good at for ourselves. So we don't necessarily have to document those things, right? We're just really good and talented at doing what it is that we do. But the problem is you need to document not only what you're doing, but you're documenting the whole process around every aspect of your business. And the reason why you want to document that is because it's going to make it that much easier for you to figure out, number one, which of these things do I need to really cut out? Which of these activities do I really need to outsource or turn over to someone else? If you don't have those processes documented, if you don't know everything that's going on within your business, you won't be able to pick out as well those activities which really make sense for you to delegate to someone else and for you to be able to keep. The more you're able to document your process, the better you're able to hire people to do those jobs, and you'll be able to put them in a position where they're able to come in, pick up those activities, and be able to run with them, right? People can't read what's in your head. People can't always figure out what it is that you're doing that makes you so successful. So you have to document. Number 4, if I didn't say it, I want to make sure that you want to make sure that you are outsourcing and you are delegating those duties and those responsibilities that you really should not be doing. You want to make sure that you are using your time and your talents to your highest and best use. And the way that you do that is to look at all the order, look at everything that's happening within your business and figure out how can I get rid of the low value stuff and how can you retain the high value things so you can make sure that you are driving those things in your business. Number 5, you want to make sure that you bone up on your leadership skills. If you don't have good leadership skills, you will wind up working alone and working for yourself. And as a result, that means you will always be what? Your own boss. You will always be self employed. If you want to be able to get to the next level, being an entrepreneur or being a business owner, you want to make sure that you have the ability to be able to attract, train, lead, and grow other people so those people will want to what? Work with you and help you achieve the vision that you have for your business. Number 6, you want to make sure that you get support. You want to make sure that you have support, number 1, inside your business and outside your business. The reason why it's so important, obviously, in your business is you need to make sure that you have not only employees, but you also have people who can help guide you, that you have mentors or you have counselors or you have coaches, people who really, really understand the business that you're in and who can help guide you along your path to success. It is absolutely key and important. Inside your business, people who are on the outside of your business, but who can be an integral part to your success is your banker, right? Your lawyer, right? Those two people can be people who are very important to you. If you have a marketing team inside your business, if you don't have one inside your business, you might need to have one outside of your business, right? Do you have HR inside your business, or do you have an HR staffing place or business or someone that you can reach out to help you identify, attract, and bring successful people to your business to help you grow it? So you want to make sure that you have these stakeholders around you who can help you grow your business. But you also want to have people who can support you, friends, family, right? Again, those mentors, people who have been in your shoes and who knows um, the emotional toll and the just the honestly the stress of being the boss, right? You want to have those people who are supporting you. Support for your business doesn't always mean that family and friends are going to be the ones who are lining up to buy your products or services. Sometimes they're going to be the people who are just going to come in and or be there uh, to provide an ear for you to vent, right? Sometimes there'll be people who will literally come into your business and sometimes pick up a broom to help you sweep. It could be somebody who might say, "Hey, I know that you were struggling uh, with your marketing, so I built this website for you, or I created these emails or these funnels for you." Right? You really, really want to have people who are there who want to see you succeed, and that success doesn't always come in the form of them buying your products or your services. And then finally, you want to be patient. You want to be assertive, but you want to be patient. And that's the reason why it's so key that you are capitalized well, because success doesn't come overnight. It doesn't. Nothing, when you see people who are super successful in their business, you don't know what they went through to get to where they are. You don't know how long they've been working to make this dream come alive for them. And so you really want to make sure that you understand what it takes, right? Either by getting a mentor or by interning or working from one of your competitors. And then you want to make sure that you are well capitalized so you can give your business the time and yourself the time you need, right? In order for you to be able to really get this business growing and operating. I heard somebody say, you know what? A lot of times we look at our businesses like we look at babies, right? And the funny thing about it is you wouldn't look at an infant. You wouldn't look at a baby that was just born 1 to 2 or 3 or 4 years old. You wouldn't look at that baby to take care of you, would you? So if you wouldn't look for a child to take care of you, if you've just birthing a business, right? You need to be patient and allow the business time for it to grow and develop so it can eventually take care of you. I hope this helps. So if you have any questions or comments, please put them below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next time.